Hi, this is Phyllis. Welcome back again to my channel. Today's project is called the Sassy Flair Bracelet. It's sassy because it's got this cute little fringe and ruffle on the base bracelet, and it's flared because it's got this this tassel, little dangle. My daughter does not like tassels. She hates every time I make something with tassels, but she loves this. And so if you like what you see, stay tuned for my materials list and we will get started. Thank you for your support of my channel. The materials for today's project are 6/0 seed beads, and excuse me, the color that I'm using for them is opaque luster white pearl. I'm using a size 11 seed bead, opaque cobalt blue, and I'm not quite sure of the brand. It just says Japanese. And this is though the and also this is going to be my alternate color, my blue. And my main color of 11/0s is going to be this Soho 11/0 nickel color. For my embellishments, I'm going to use two types of beads. These are crystal in the blue, Preciosa 4mm, but they are not uniform in size, so I'm going to cull them so that all the ones that I use for the fringe will be the more uniform in size. And I'm going to use a Cathedral bead. I'm not quite sure of the color, but when you turn it in the sunlight, it picks up all of the colors, and this is a beautiful color, and I think it's going to go well with our embellishments. I'm using a stainless steel slide clasp, and this is the size, is that 16? I think that says, oh my goodness, I have the wrong glasses, 16 by 6. And it's a 2 slide clasp. And because we want to make this a cuff style, so that it sits as flush to the skin as possible. I've got my scissors. I've got my measuring tape. And I've got a size 10 beading needle. I've got 2 types of thread. I'm going to use my Fireline, my 6-pound Fireline, as my base for the base of the bracelet. And just because it's a little sturdier. And then I'm going to use my 1G thread. I can't find my white. I'm hoping that by the time I get to making my embellishments that I can find my white. But I'm going to use the 1G, and that's the pink color, to do the fringe, because you want the fringe to move. When I made my special bracelet, this one, I'm very sorry that I did not use my 1G thread here in this embellishment, but I'm going to use it in the embellishment on the bracelet that I make for you. So if you like what you saw in my intro, gather your materials and we will get started. We're going to begin. I'm going to use a stop bead. I'm just going to use one of my main color 11/0s as a stop bead, and I'm going to leave a 8 to 10 inch tail here so that I can attach my clasp when I'm done. When I'm done with the length of the base. And I'm just going to pass that there one time, just have that stop bead there, okay? And I'm going to begin by stringing on 5 of my 6/0s or E beads, however you're comfortable saying them. And I'm going to pull these down to my stop bead. And when I get there, I'm going to use my dexterity, and I'm going to hold the beads like this, and move these out of the way because we're getting blurry. I'm going to string on one of my 6/0 beads, and my working thread is exiting, coming towards me, and with this new bead strung on, we're going to pass our needle into that first 6/0, and it sets up kind of like peyote, but it's square stitch. Square stitch is a really sturdy stitch, and in order to get into position to add my next bead, I'm going to pass my needle into that bead that I just added, and there's what we have. We're going to continue the process the same way. I've strung on a 6/0 seed bead. I'm going to go into the next 6/0, pull my thread, take my thread over and pass the needle through that new seed bead that I just added, and pull. Continue the process, and I see that my 10-inch tail is no longer 10 inches. I'm going to pick up a seed bead, pass my needle into this next seed bead in my direction. When I pull the thread, I'm going to just place it over this way and reposition the needle, and I'm going to continue that. String on a seed bead, pass it up into the next seed bead in line, move my thread so that I go into the proper seed bead, pull the needle, and I know it's a little floppy, but that's fine. We're going to fix that. Pull this up, pick up a string on the seed bead and pull it up into this new seed bead here, and move my thread over and pass my needle into that final seed bead that I just added. You see how it just looks really nice like there? Then all I do is to strengthen it and to keep it sturdy, straight, I pass the needle into these first 5 seed beads that I had and back into the new ones that I added. And I'm going to flip it over so that I can work towards myself, and I'm going to continue the process just like I just did. String on a seed bead, pass my needle into this seed bead here coming towards me, and reposition, get ready to add the next one, and you continue in that manner till we finish that. These are going to be columns until you finish this column, and I'll see you at the end of this one. I've got that next column done, and I'm just going to do my reinforcement here by passing my needle into these and out of these. Just as simple as that. I'm going to flip my work over, and we're going to do the next column the same way. And you're going to continue to make your columns until you have the length of your bracelet minus the length of your clasp. And I am going to continue all of these columns until I get to my length, and when I come back on, we're going to add on our clasp. And because I lost my tail by not paying attention, I'm probably just going to make this a swatch or start it all over. It doesn't really matter, but when I pop back on, I'm going to have the length of this bracelet complete. See you in a minute. I have completed the length of the bracelet that I want minus my clasping. So I've got just a little more than 6.5 inches here for this brace for my length, and then I put my slide clasp here, and that's going to bring us to about 7 and I don't know, 7 1/8 inch. And that's going to be plenty long for me. It might even be a little bit longer because when I attach this clasp, I'm going to use a couple of 11/0 seed beads. So right here with my working thread coming out this way, I'm going to pass my needle here into the column below, into 2 of these 6/0 seed beads, and I'm going to go up into this 1 center seed bead here on the end, and I'm going to string on, and I'm not going to take this clasp apart. I'm just going to leave it here, just so that I don't mess anything up. I'm going to string on 1 size 11 seed beads, and I'm going to pass my needle into 1 hole of the slide clasp, and I'm going to pull it through, and then once I get it through, I'm going to come back down and pass the needle into this size 11 seed bead that I just added. Pull the thread, and I'm going to go into this center seed bead again here, and I'm going to pull that, and I'm going to string on a size 11 seed bead and pass my needle into the hole, that loop there of the slide clasp, and I come back down excuse me, and pass the needle back into that size 11/0 seed bead and pull the thread, and this is how we're going to attach this clasp, and just by going back into that center seed bead again, passing up into the 11/0 and the loop here of the slide clasp, and back into the 11/0. We're going to do it as many times as we can to fill that thread up. Back over here into that center seed bead, into that 11/0, and into that loop there, back into the 11/0, and we're going to keep doing that until we have the holes of the 11/0s filled up, and this is sturdy. When I get done, I'm going to trim the thread on this side and attach the clasp to the other side the same way with our 10-inch tail thread, and trim these threads because we are going to be done with the Fireline, and then we're going to move on to my nylon thread. I'll see you then. I have both sides of my clasp attached, but I just want to show you, this is what I did to tie off my threads. I just came, I went through and did a couple of reinforcement passes, and now I'm just going to come down here, pull my thread here, and then I'm just going to do a 1/2 inch double half hitch knot, pass the needle up under that thread bridge, pull up a loop, pass my needle into the loop once and then twice, pull my thread, pass through another bead, and do the same thing. Pass the needle up under the thread bridge, pull up a loop, pass the needle into the loop once and twice, and pull that down, and it's pretty sturdy in there. Pull my thread out of the other side of the column and get my scissors, trim that thread right off. There you go. And there it is. Now, what we're going to do is, well, first you should make sure that it fits snugly. And this one is perfect on my wrist. It is perfect just the way you want, because you don't want it dangling or loose or anything like that. You want it to fit snugly. And that is exactly what we have. And it's a cute little bracelet just the way it is. You don't have to do anything else to it. But we are not here for that today. Today we're going to sass it up. And then after we sass it up, we're going to flare it up. So thread your needle with your nylon thread. I never did find my 1G, so I've got my other nylon thread, this good thread here. And in the color that I need, because I don't want to use pink. So I'm going to thread it with about 1.5 yards of thread so we can do the sassy part, and I'll be right back. I've got my nylon thread on the needle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start maybe right here. I'm going to attach this nylon thread right here, simply by tying it on, just with a little simple knot. And that's all the knot tying I'm going to do. And I'm going to pass this needle up into this column where we are going to begin our embellishments on this cuff. I guess it's a cuff. We'll begin our embellishments by making a ruffle on the top. So I've designated this as the top of row of the columns, and I have strung on 6 of my accent color size 11/0 seed beads. We'll be using our 2 colors of 11/0 seed beads and our 4mm bicones to do this embellishment. So I've got on my accent color, and I'm going to, I have my working thread is exiting away from me, and I'm going to just pass the needle into the top 6/0 seed bead right there, right next to where we're coming out of. So each one of these is going to have like a little ruffle. Once I get here, I'm going to use my main color. I'm going to string on 3 of my main color seed beads, the 4mm, and 1 more of the main color seed bead. I'm going to pull these down, and I'm going to skip this 11/0 seed bead that's under the bicone and pass through the bicone and the next seed bead up. And pull the thread, making sure to hold on to that bicone or the 11/0, and pull so that there is no slack in the thread and the beads down here. Then once I get here, I'm going to string on 2 of my main color seed beads, and I'm going to go right into the top 6/0 seed bead that's next in line. Pull that thread, and that's what you have. Short little dangle. All right. Right here, I'm going to string on 6 of my accent color seed beads, and I'm going to pass my needle into the next column of 6/0 seed beads, but this time I'm going down 3. Pull my thread, the ruffle sets up, and I'm in position to do my little dangle, and I'm going to do it the same way. String on 3 of my main color seed beads, the 4mm bicone, and 1 more of my main color seed bead. Pull these down, if you have the dexterity, and you skip that 11/0 that's up under the bicone and pass into the bicone and the next size 11/0 seed bead going up. It's a little loose right now because I didn't have it in my hand properly. I was trying to show you, but I'll lay it down now, and I'm just going to pull so that there's no slack there. And this is what we have, and from here I string on 2 of my main color seed beads. I am rocking this tripod, please forgive me, so sorry. Stringing on 2 of my main color seed beads, and because we came down into the 3rd seed bead, 6/0 seed bead, we have to go back up into that 3rd one all the way to the top. Pull a thread. Okay, that's where our next dangle is, down here. We're going to continue the same way. String on 6 of our main accent colors, 4, and pass our needle into the top 6/0 seed bead in the next row, in the next column. Pull our thread down, and that's how we're going to do our ruffle section. I know it doesn't look very ruffly right now, but once we get them on, it will look better as we go down the line. So continue doing that and make your little dangle. 3 of your main color seed beads, 4mm bicone, and a main color seed bead. Pull these down. Skip that bottom 11/0 seed bead and pass into the bicone and the next 11/0 seed bead. And pull this up, making sure that there's no slack. String on 2 more of your main color seed beads. Pass back up into the next 1 6/0 seed bead. And once you do that, you're ready to string on your 6 accent colors again. And this time you're going to come to the next column and pass down into 3 of the 6/0 seed beads. And that's how we're going to embellish this cuff. That's how we're making this cuff sassy. You continue to do that. You go all the way across, and when I'm done with mine, I'll show you how we're going to end it. And it doesn't matter if you don't have an even number of seed beads on your column, because we're going to be next to the clasp, and you're not going to be able to really see that anyway. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you don't have even numbers. Well, I'll show you how to fix that if that happens to me. All right, I'll see you at the end. I'm at the other end now, and I'm just finishing off my last embellishment on the cuff part of the base part of the bracelet, and I am tightening up my little embellishment here, and I've strung on my 211 seed beads. And look, I only have one more size 60 seed bead left, and I'm going to just pass my needle into that 60 seed bead the way we've been doing. And at the end we have a place where we cannot add our ruffle like we did over here. So you could either leave it, just like this, or you could string on a couple of seed beads. I'm going to string on 4 of the seed beads, my 11 accent color, and I'm going to pass into this one accent color right before that 60 seed bead, and I'm going to go just pass it right down into the back of it, pull the thread, and make a mess. And that's it. You know, if you just have to have something there, it can be like that, or you could just leave it blank. And back here now, I'm going to just do a couple of knots. Well, one, pass my needle up under that thread bridge there. Pull up a loop. And pass the needle into the loop a couple of times. Pull the thread. And we do a couple of passes on the back. I'm only going to tie one knot because the that embellishment on the front is pretty secure. So I'm just going to lock this into place by just going around these couple of seed beads right here a couple of times. Making sure that it's just locked into place, and I'm just going to get my scissors and pull this up and trim it right off. And I'm going to go to the other end and trim off that thread where we started. And this is what we have. We've got our little sassy part of the bracelet. Now we're going to make our flare. So you could keep this just like this if you like. It's still a cute bracelet. Keep it just like this and it can be done. Or you could just continue with our process, what we're here for today, the sassy and the flare. So stand by. I'm going to just, I gotta string on a couple of yards of thread because the fringe is going to take at least 4 yards of thread. So I'm going to start off with a short piece right now just for the video's sake, and I'm going to tie my thread about right here, or here. I'll tie my thread right here, and right there, and I'm going to pass the needle down over here all the way to the end, which is the bottom. And this is where we're going to start our fringe flare. For this fringe, you're going to need both colors of your 11/0 seed beads, your 4mm, and whatever bead you're going to use to do the bottom of the fringe. And I'm using these cathedrals. So I'm going to get all this stuff together and I'm going to show you how to make this fringe, and I'll be right back. So now we're ready to make our fringe. That is the succession of beads that I used is 2 main color 11/0s, 1 accent color, 2 main color, 1 accent color, 2 main colors, and 4mm. And I'm going to go back again, and this time 2 main, 1 accent, 2 main, 1 accent, 2 main, and our cathedral. Now, once here, now I'm going to get 3 of my accent colors, and I'm going to pass back up into all of these beads. If you can do it all in one go, that's great. If not, that's fine too, because our main purpose here is to make sure that there are no gaps in this thread. So I didn't make it all in one go, but I'm going to finish now and go all the way up until I get to the first 11/0 seed bead that I added. Pull my thread, and then I'm going to make sure I'm going to hold on to the 3 seed beads at the bottom, and I'm going to pull this thread, making sure that there are no gaps here, and that is how we're going to do our fringe. I'm going to go into these 2 size 6 seed beads, and if this is bothering you to do on the front, then turn it over. Turn it over and just work on the back side, which might be easier for you. So I'm going to go into these 2 6/0 seed beads and pull my thread, and I'm going to go over to the next 2 6/0 seed beads, pull my thread down, and we're going to make another fringe. I'll do this with you this last time. 2 main, 1 accent, 2 main, 1 accent, 2 main, and 1 4mm. And again, 2 main, 1 accent, 2 main, 1 accent, 2 main, 1 cathedral, 3 accent. Ooh, 3 accent. And I'm going to go back into this cathedral bead and all the others. Pull that thread. And go into the rest of them till the first 11/0, the main color that you added. And get tangled up again. And get down here and hold on to this cathedral bead or the 3 11/0s until there's no slack. pass up into the two 6/0 seed beads where you started, and slide over to the next two, come down, and just continue that all the way across, and until you get all of your columns done. And when I'm done, I'll get back on and show you what I'm working with. See you then. I am back with my finished project. I think it's lovely. It moves very fluidly. Yes, it's a little heavy, but when you wear it, it's very secure. It has the base of the bracelet was made with Fireline, and it has its benefits. And I used square stitch to make it, and I don't know why I'm having difficulty putting this on. It's probably because I'm on camera. I mean, normally I just slide it right on and it is not a problem. But now that I'm trying to show you the bracelet on, I'm struggling. So anyway, this project is not for the faint of heart at all. It is time consuming, and but it's worth it because look at what you get. You can use anything you want to make the fringe, and you don't have to make the fringe the same length at all. You can do all kinds of different things, use different types of beads, and you know, you get a lovely project. This is one that I did the base bracelet in size 8/0 seed beads, and the reason I don't really wear it like that is because I didn't use a stainless steel clasp, and it bothers me. That clasp bothers me. I can maybe wear it for 15 minutes, and then I'm itchy already, if at all 15 minutes. So that's the reason why I don't bother with it. I can't believe this. Any other time I'd slide it right on. But anyway, that's what you have. And I'd like to thank you. If you stuck with me until now, I'd like to thank you for hanging out with me for our Sassy Flair bracelet. The size 8/0 project is almost exactly the same as the 6/0. I did everything the same except up here with the ruffles I used 5 seed beads, and I used the 8/0 seed beads over here to make the clasp, and also I used 4mm bicones on this one, and that was it. But everything else, oh yes, and the 6, I did 6 rows. I mean 6 in the column, 6 seed beads in the column. But otherwise it is the same, except it is size 8/0 and size 6/0 base bracelets. Okay, I hope you make this project. I hope you try it. It's not hard. It's really a beginner project. You just have to be patient, and that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.